Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMtrading. Today is September 12th, 2019, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day at 1:45 South African time, out of the European Union, we have a monetary policy statement coming out. That's important. And it's going to be followed with an ECB press conference at 2:30 South African time. And simultaneously, out of the United States, we have a monthly CPI number coming out. Now, I don't expect any surprises in the CPI, but you do want to know it's coming out. Now, looking at the Forex markets, the euro and British pound pretty much flat. While the Aussie dollar has been gaining versus the US dollar, we're going to take a look at that. And looking at the Dow Jones continues to rally, and NASDAQ plays catch up. Okay, Dow Jones very close to its all-time highs again, making that comeback from that major sell-off in August. Now looking at the commodities, oil sells off sharply while gold hangs in there. And looking at the rotation, what's taking the markets higher is Apple computers, as it's anticipated to bring in a new iPhone and some new products into the market. But let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're taking a look here at the Euro USD as this number is going to come out later today, but it's pretty much set itself up with a little bit of a resistance at 110.61-ish level. We sold off to 110.90-ish level, or 109-ish level rather, and it was just shy of that. Okay, so it's about 65 pips, 63 pips range. Okay, nothing really major to hang your hat on. But if this does break later today on the downside, we could see it challenge at 109 level again as it makes that correction. Okay, so look at that later today as this unfolds. Now looking at the GBP, didn't correct so much. Okay, it's pretty much just hanging in there at that resistance level of 123. There's a lot going on in the UK. Okay, so I'm not going to jump into it too much because a lot of it is news driven and less market driven because of what's been going on with Brexit and some of the issues with their prime minister. So I'm just going to leave it be for now. Okay, but if it does fail this rally up here, okay, it doesn't sustain this, it will sell off, okay, to 121.70-ish level. And you got to keep this on your tally. Just keep it in front of you just to see that breakout actually occur and take the anticipation of it. Okay, but if it does, you may want to build a small little initially position initially, and then once it starts confirming itself, to get a little bit more aggressive. Now looking at that Aussie dollar, we're breaking through resistance here. Okay, now the Aussie dollar has been very quiet for the whole month of August. Okay, if we look at that, you see that I didn't cover the Aussie dollar in quite some time. The reason is it's been very quiet. It's been range bound trading on a very tight range. Finally, it broke that area. Okay, right there, and then continues to plow ahead. Now we're at 68-ish level. Okay, if it does sustain itself, we could see itself correct itself all the way to the 69.97-ish level, which is about 100 pips away. Okay, so keep that in mind as this continues to correct itself throughout the day. Now looking at the commodities, okay, let's just jump into it. Looking at gold, you see we're just tapering off to 1496. Nothing exciting happening, but if the markets continue going higher, I do expect a little bit more of a correction for the price of gold. Okay, now we are at almost multi-year highs. We haven't been in this area since 2011, 2012, and that is a major correction for gold. Okay, so just be aware of the fact that we've rallied over the past year of over 300 to 400 points in the price of gold. So a major correction for gold, for it to correct a little bit further to the 1450-ish level, I don't think it's unreasonable. Okay, looking at oil, this is what I'm talking about. Yesterday's number came out with our weekly crude oil number, and it sold off from $58 down to 56. That's a major sell-off. Now you see this red line. This was a minor resistance level, and we did break it. So I do expect this to be the new resistance level, and we could even, if we do continue to sell off, we can continue selling off to our lower Fibonacci retracement. The blue upper line is also our Fibonacci retracement line, which was our resistance, and you see it worked out perfectly, okay, to be trading in that range. Okay, now we're smack in the middle of that. It should, I don't want to say should, or it could really retrace down to the 53 level, okay, if it does continues to sell off. Now looking at that Dow Jones, look at this massive correction. All right, this happened over the past month and a half, okay, to 2 months, where we were trading at this 27,200-ish level just a month ago, 2 months ago rather, in July, and then we sold off in August down to 25,300-ish level. What a major correction there. And then we kind of flatlined there, showing our trading range between 26,300 and 25,300, finally breaking that level. Okay, now this is very uncharacteristic of this time of the year. September, October, November are generally sell-off months, okay? And the fact that we're rallying here is a little bit suspicious. It happened about 2 years ago and 3 years ago, okay, which was, again, not historically, I'm talking about over a 100-year period, not characteristic of the Dow Jones. So the fact that it's rallying here, okay, it may even break these all-time highs as it continues to sell into the winter, or trade rather into the winter, not sell into the winter. Now, looking at that stock that's carrying us higher, Apple Computers. Okay, now we are looking at a weekly chart, and you can see it's pretty much trading in tandem with the Dow Jones, making or closing in on those all-time highs of $230 a share. Okay, so I do expect some further volatility here. Okay, if it does break out, it's got to break out with some momentum, and we may actually see that as going into the fall, Apple, shows off its new products, and it could be an exciting year for Apple. Now, looking at that NASDAQ I just spoke to you guys about before, breaking above that resistance level of 7,800, we're trading at 7,900, close to our all-time highs also. Okay, so, but what's not carrying us further are the bank stocks. Okay, Bank of America continued rallying, but nowhere close to where we were back in July. Looking at JP Morgan, also, let's just take a look at a 4-hour chart, or a daily chart rather, to give us that perspective. It's closer to our all-time highs, okay? It's actually trading on our all-time highs. So this is probably the one that's going to carry us higher if it does break out higher. Okay, so looking at JP Morgan, looking at Apple are the ones. I know you guys remember when Microsoft was, rallying before and making new highs for the year at 141. Well, kind of tapering off here at 135. So it's looking like there's a rotation in the market of what's taking us further. So you're just going to have to clue in to see if, there's going to be another rotation. Maybe Apple will Microsoft will play catch up, or Facebook or Google, as the markets are taking us higher. So very exciting times as we are, getting back into these all-time highs, session highs, yearly highs, all-time highs, and, breaking out possibly higher. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.